So aliens. So we're looking for aliens on the surface of Mars now. There's a rover called Perseverance, which is on an ancient river delta in what we know was an ancient lake, and it's drilling down to take samples to try and find evidence that life existed there, because there was water and all the things that we think are necessary for life. So I wouldn't be surprised if there are aliens below the surface of Mars, right? Martian microbes. We've got one called Europa Clipper. They're going to launch to Jupiter's moon Europa. That's a frozen moon, about the same size as our moon, but it's ice. The whole surface is ice. And below the surface, there's water, salt water, sodium chloride in the water. And there's more water in there than all the oceans of the Earth combined, about 3 times as much. And so that's a candidate for life. And so we're sending a spacecraft to look for life. So it's not bonkers to suggest that life may have begun somewhere else other than Earth, right? That we're looking for it in the solar system. But what is really worrying observation to me actually is that we've looked a bit for radio signals, and we look out for signs of anything out there in our galaxy, intelligence, and we don't see anything at all. And astronomers call it the Great Silence. It's kind of an ominous name, because it seems there's so many planets, 20 billion potentially Earth-like planets in the Milky Way. You think there's loads of room and loads of time, so there should be things out there, but we don't see anything. And the explanation probably, if indeed that's true, is biology. It's just, if you look at the history of life on Earth, it took nearly 4 billion years from the first cell to a civilization. 4 billion years, nearly. That's a third of the age of the universe. I think the best guess is that we're so incredibly fortunate to be here, because it's just that ask that you say, I want a planet to support an unbroken chain of life through all this violence in the universe, an unbroken chain of life for 4 billion years in order to get to something like you and me, right? Collections of atoms that can think. I think it's just really unlikely. It's terrifying and also kind of uplifting in a way, isn't it? Because it means that we're unbelievably valuable as a species and a planet. It could be we're the only island of meaning in an ocean of 400 billion suns.
For centuries, the idea of extraterrestrial life has sparked curiosity and wonder. From ancient myths to cutting-edge science, humans have always gazed at the stars, asking the timeless question, are we truly alone? With the rapid advancement of technology, our capacity to explore the universe has grown, and the dream of discovering alien life feels closer than ever. Yet, despite decades of searching, no undeniable evidence of life beyond Earth has been found. However, the discovery of exoplanets, some within the habitable zone of their stars, offers intriguing possibilities. These findings suggest that Earth may not be unique, and that life could exist in countless other places across the cosmos.
You go back 15 years or so, 20 years, we only knew of our solar system. So it's possible to believe all those stars in the sky were just stars we didn't know. But now we've discovered over 1,000 planets out there around stars. The remarkable thing, Kepler has been looking just at a little piece of sky to do a kind of a survey. A tiny piece of sky, and it found 6 Earth-like planets. So these are rocky planets in the right zone around the star, so the temperature's right, so there could be oceans and rivers. And if you just then extend that over the entire sky, the number now people are talking about is 20 billion Earth-like planets that could harbour life in the Milky Way. 20,000 million other Earths.
The mystery deepens when we consider the sheer number of potentially habitable worlds in the Milky Way. Despite this, signs of intelligent life remain elusive. Some theories suggest we're simply not looking in the right places, while others propose that the conditions for life may be far more intricate than we currently understand. An unsettling possibility is that intelligent civilizations are actively avoiding contact. With billions of Earth-like planets in our galaxy alone, it seems implausible that no other civilization has left a detectable trace.
This has got a name called the Fermi Paradox, after the physicist Enrico Fermi, because now 20 billion Earths. The galaxy's been around for almost the entire age of the universe, 13 billion years. Why we haven't seen evidence?
The Great Filter Hypothesis offers a sobering explanation. A critical barrier exists that prevents most civilizations from advancing to a point where they can communicate or travel across the stars. If this filter lies ahead of us, it could spell doom for humanity. Alternatively, the dark forest hypothesis presents an equally chilling scenario. Civilizations might choose to remain silent, like animals hiding in a dangerous forest, out of fear that revealing themselves could invite annihilation by more advanced and hostile beings. In this view, the universe may not be a welcoming haven but a battleground where survival depends on staying undetected. This could explain why we have yet to uncover definitive proof of extraterrestrial life. Every civilization might be hiding in plain sight, concealing itself to avoid destruction. Yet, the search for life continues, and the possibility of microbial organisms in places like Mars or Europa reminds us that life in its simplest forms may be widespread. More complex life, however, remains an open question, and the rarity of civilizations like ours may make them all the more precious.
I wouldn't be surprised to find that life had existed on Mars, perhaps even still may subsurface. But I would be very surprised if it were anything other than single-celled at best. But the question is about aliens, about civilizations. We don't know. We've looked a bit. We have the SETI program. We've heard nothing. Astronomers have a term for it. They call it the Great Silence. But it is possible. The biologists I talk to tend to say, if you look at the history of life on Earth, then it seems clear that for around, let's say, 3 billion years or so after the origin of life, around 3.8 billion years ago, up to less than 1 billion years ago, it was single-celled. And complex multicellular life is a relatively recent development. So on Earth, we had about 4 billion years to go from the origin of life to a civilization. And if that is in any way typical, and we don't know, then the astronomers will tell you that perhaps there aren't so many worlds that have stayed stable enough for long enough for that process to continue. We don't know. There's a key point here, that it is at least conceivable that worlds like this are very rare, in the sense that there's a very complex ecosystem, a civilization, intelligence. You can make an argument that there could be, on average, one per galaxy.
What if other civilizations are trying to reach us, but we're failing to notice? The vast distances between stars and galaxies present immense challenges, and even if signals were sent, detecting them amidst cosmic noise is a daunting task. One tantalizing example is the WOW signal, a mysterious burst of radio waves detected in the 1970s, which some speculate could have been an extraterrestrial attempt at communication.
A radio telescope called a Big Ear detected a radio signal from somewhere in the vicinity of the constellation Sagittarius. And this is the printout from that night. It was a pulse. The peak brightness was over 30 times the brightness of the background radio emission from the galaxy. That's the wavelength of light, of radio waves emitted from hydrogen atoms. So the whole sky glows at that wavelength. And back in the 1950s, radio astronomers speculated that if an alien civilization wanted to communicate with us, then they might well choose that very special, natural wavelength to send their message. So surprising was this, that when it was spotted a few days later by an astronomer called Jerry Amon, he circled that pulse, a 72-second flash of radio waves, and wrote "wow" next to it. So this has become known as the WOW signal.
Today, projects like the Breakthrough Listen initiative leverage artificial intelligence to comb through vast amounts of data in search of techno-signatures, indications of advanced alien technology. Thanks to advancements in machine learning, we're better equipped than ever to separate potential signals from the background hum of the universe. In one recent breakthrough, a student-designed algorithm identified several promising candidates, reigniting hope in our quest to uncover the unknown. As we peer deeper into the cosmos, one thing becomes increasingly clear. The universe is an enigmatic and awe-inspiring place filled with endless possibilities. The search for alien life may ultimately reshape our understanding of existence. Until then, we must remain vigilant, curious, and open to the idea that the next great discovery could change humanity forever.